We can call any naturally formed depression that consistently holds a large amount of water a lake. These impounded waters can have various origins, such as their own spring, rainwater, ancient seas, glacier melt, and even volcanic activities. From a distance, lakes appear to be a serene and safe environment for swimming, contemplating nature, and spending the day with family. However, these seemingly calm waters on the surface can conceal deadly dangers in the depths. In the northern part of Tanzania, near the border with Kenya in the Great Rift Valley of East Africa, there lies an intriguing blood-red lake known as Lake Natron. Its densy and unhealthy-looking waters are constantly disturbed by bubbles rising to the surface and bursting into the air, breaking the ominous silence of the inhospitable region. Around the lake, birds and animals pose for photographs taken by scientists and nature enthusiasts. What seems natural at first takes on dark and macabre contours when it is noticed that the animals are actually dead, petrified like true living mummies frozen in time. Not surprisingly, the locals have nicknamed this place the Lake Medusa. Similar to the monstrous being from Greek mythology that turns its victims into stone, Natron seems to act in the same way, collecting statues of animals around it. This aquatic cemetery is explained by the extremely high concentration of salt and caustic soda from underground deposits and the runoff of ashes from the old Doinyo Lengai volcano. This high salt concentration and extreme alkalinity reach a pH level of 12, considered seriously high. As if that weren't enough, the region's hot springs raise the lake temperatures, easily reaching up to 60 degrees Celsius during the day. This combination of unhealthy factors, seemingly taken from a horror movie, makes Natron a true liquid hell where few forms of life can survive. Herds of antelopes and buffaloes avoid the area, circumventing kilometers to avoid passing through it. Fish cannot survive in its waters, and even insects don't seem comfortable in the vicinity. The emanations from Natron are so powerful that they can be felt over 50 kilometers away. When the wind blows from the region to the plains, affected plants grow sick, filled with yellow and brown spots. Moreover, there are no villages or human settlements nearby. African tribes consider the place cursed and have long given up trying to settle in the region. The location gained worldwide fame after English photographer Nick Brandt shared some images of the statues of dead animals in the lake. In the publication titled Across the Ravaged Land, the African continent specialist explains that no one knows for sure how these animals die. The most likely theory is that the reflection of light on the lake confuses the animals, leading them to fall into the lethal water, much like birds colliding with glass windows. After field research, ecologist David Harper of the University of Leicester concluded that the bodies that fall nearby decompose rapidly, while at the edge of the lake, animals become encrusted in salt. As there are no predators in the region, these carcasses are preserved as true stone statues. What may be deadly for some is seen as paradise for flamingos. They are among the rare exceptions that can survive in the region, enjoying the feast of cyanobacteria from the lake. This is because the higher the salinity, the greater the development of bacteria, which has increasingly attracted flamingo nests to Natron. In addition to flamingos, there is also an incredibly resistant alkaline tilapia that can withstand the caustic waters of the lake. However, they are affected by the chemical composition of the environment, making their meat impossible to consume. The algae covering Natron's shores in summer are mainly responsible for releasing the reddish pigmentation during photosynthesis. This impressive visual feature completes the cinematic picture of Natron, also known as the Blood Lake. Despite its extreme and dangerous environment, Lake Natron has become a major destination for ecotourism and an experience for experts and visitors. Due to its unique biodiversity, Tanzania has included the basin in the list of wetlands of international importance. This recognition ensures the preservation and study of the site, which still holds many mysteries to be unraveled by science. You've probably heard of the Bermuda Triangle, a mysterious and infamous area that connects from the Bahamas to Florida in the United States. Closing the triangle in the Bermuda Islands, where dozens of ships and planes have sunk in the deep and dark waters of the Atlantic Ocean. However, few know that there is another equally dangerous and enigmatic location known as the Lake Michigan Triangle, where for hundreds of years, various strange and unexplained events have been recorded, intriguing researchers and residents of the region. Lake Michigan is one of the 5 Great Lakes of North America, and the only one entirely bordered by the United States, as the other 4 are shared with Canada. Covering a vast area of approximately 58,000 square kilometers, Lake Michigan boasts impressive titles, being the largest North American freshwater lake and the 5th largest on the planet. At its deepest point, its crystal-clear waters of deep and lush blue extend up to 280 meters towards the white sands at the lake's bottom, which run through the Mackinac Strait to flow into Lake Huron. From a distance, this seemingly tranquil paradise does not raise any danger alerts, but the data does not lie. The region is also known for numerous records of disappearances, both on land and in the water. The main reason pointed out is the lake's drag currents, which can be as strong as maritime currents. In July 2003, a storm marked the history of Michigan's coast. A group of religious individuals from Chicago traveled to the coast to spend the day by the lake. The rain did not take long to pass, and as soon as the sun started shining again, adults and young people entered the water, believing the danger had passed. What they could not foresee was the adversity silently lurking in the depths. Without any warning, 2 boys aged 12 and 17 felt a strong current pulling their feet towards the lake's bottom. 2 adults noticed the commotion and rushed to rescue the teenagers. The current was stronger than they could imagine. The adults managed to pull the younger boy to the shore. Even tired, they returned to retrieve the other teenager. However, the water's force was too strong, and unfortunately, all 3 disappeared with the current. At the time, newspapers reported the case, blaming high tides and undertows. Today, however, scholars have reached a new conclusion. Scientists from the University of Wisconsin Sea Grant re-examined the occurrence, and their findings were published in the journal Scientific Reports. The article details the discovery of unexpected currents induced by a moderate-height meteotsunami, meaning a wave caused by weather. Although these conditions are not rare, this was the first time researchers identified a current generated by a weather-related tsunami. University of Wisconsin-Madison civil and environmental engineering professor Chin Wu explains that escape currents formed by a single meteotsunami wave can last for hours after storms. Therefore, bathers need to be cautious. Even when the water appears calm on the surface, there may be hidden danger below. Recent statistics attest to the need for water safety education. With 117 drownings, the summer of 2018 was the deadliest ever recorded for the Great Lakes, according to the Great Lakes Surf Rescue Project. The main cases are concentrated in a curious region, delimited by a triangle connecting the cities of Manitowoc, Wisconsin, and Ludington and Benton, Michigan. Since 1981, the specific area of this triangle has been collecting unbelievable stories. In that year, a schooner named Thomas Hume set sail to collect wood but was intercepted by strong winds. The boat and its crew of 7 disappeared without a trace. In 1921, another tragic event marked the waters of Lake Michigan. 30 years after the disappearance of Thomas Hume, a ship named Rosabelle suffered a similar fate. The ship was found overturned under the waters, but none of its 11 passengers were located. The ship's hull suggests there was a collision, but no other vessel reported an accident nearby. In spring, Michigan's waters become even more crystalline, and aircraft flying over the region can spot shipwrecks on the lakebed. During a patrol of the U.S. Coast Guard in the Manitou Passage, underwater reserve near Sleeping Bear Point, Lieutenant Commander Charlie Wilson managed to locate the Rising Sun, a ship that sank in 1917 during a snowstorm. Another eerie fact involving the area is the Northwest Orient Airlines Flight 2501. It was 1950 when the New York domestic airline was instructed to lower its altitude due to a strong electrical storm. Shortly after descent, the aircraft carrying 58 passengers disappeared completely from radar. No victims or pieces of the plane were ever found. The frightening tales about Lake Michigan are not limited to the earthly realm. On March 8, 1994, more than 300 calls flooded the 911 emergency service to report strange lights moving over the waters. The calls described the appearance of cylindrical UFOs hovering in the sky. A radar operator from the National Weather Service is one of the hundreds of witnesses to this event that remains without plausible explanations for science to this day. Were they military aircraft or visitors from other worlds? What is known is that there is something strange and fascinating about Lake Michigan. Perhaps aliens have more answers. Remember that the Earth echoes at the bottom of lakes, always in search of new knowledge. If you enjoyed this content, write dangerous lakes in the comments and share your experience as well. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you won't miss the next dives. See you down there.